Let's open our meeting. Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. First meeting of 2021. Hopefully better than last year. As first order of the day, I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading of the remote meeting notice.
Dick Williams, aye. With that motion.
So moved.
I hear a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The roll call. Dick,
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Norm, aye. Okay, that out of the way. Minutes. We have the minutes of our December 22nd meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at them?
Yes,
Changes.
I did.
I have a comment. What time did Marilyn come in?
I think it was about 10 minutes of 7. I mean, yeah,
I
so
noted it at the top. It said Marilyn joined at 7:02 p.m. Up at the very top where it lists the board members.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the minutes of December 22nd?
I so move.
And I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion? Any corrections, additions, deletions?
Nope, I have none.
No deletions, no corrections. I had something in here and I want to find out if anybody found out about it. And that doesn't have a page, but it was Brice Lemon Estates. And I had asked a question about a catch basin and where did it drain to?
I think that would be discussion later in the meeting, not necessarily in approving the minutes. Are you looking for an answer?
You betcha. I don't want to lose it, Marilyn.
I understand that, but I'm just saying we can bring it up later, we're just approving the minutes right now, I think.
Yeah,
I was under the assumption that maybe somebody was going to get a hold of Quinn Engineering about it.
I have a kind of a vague recollection of it.
This was the discussion that we had about getting Carl to answer some of our questions.
If I could just cut in on this, I'll follow up with Quinn Engineering tomorrow to get an answer to that question. I do recall the memo that he had, and that was one of the items.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Approved. Tim Narwhal.
Okay, let's see. Back to roll call vote again. Dick,
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
and Norm, aye. Minutes are accepted. Next on our agenda, we have a whopping A&R plan, Turkey Hill Road. And I'm assuming you all have actually probably two copies, an original copy and an updated copy.
There was two PDFs that Dave sent out, and of course we got the big copy that was in our packet.
And I left my original copy with Dave.
Okay, I got it. Before we get started, Norman, I've got a question and I don't know the answer to it. But on lots 1, 2, and 3, which is on the west side of Turkey Hill, there was an original septic and well system over there. And I know we're approving A&Rs, but what department or who takes care of the, basically before they could build on any of these, even though we're approving them, they've got to have a well and septic basically taken out of service. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't have it basically have to demo the existing system. You can't say that it's going to be good for lot 3 because it's how many years old? 15, 20 years old?
Where'd you get that information? This is Julian, how are you? Where's that information from?
They're saying there was a well and septic system on the
Lot 3?
Well, it's 1, 2, and 3. That whole piece of property originally.
Who said that? Where did that connect to?
It connects off the GIS Board of Assessors card. It says well and septic.
Yeah, because that used to be all the old farmhouse that's sitting in the corner there.
Yeah.
There is well and septic for the old farmhouse.
No.
We just split that piece of land off like probably less than a year ago. Jim Megas cut off the house, the barn. His septic is up towards the intersection, and his well is right near his driveway. So that house has everything. The rest of it was all old fields. There's no house, well, or septic over there. And regardless, it would be the Board of Health anyways.
Okay, so the Board of Health needs to check into that. Okay, I will ask them because the assessors cards say that piece of property that you're talking about, Julian, where the new house is.
There's no new house there. That's an old original house. It's probably a
the Board of
1700s house.
Yeah, I'm not. They've got 2 different pictures in the Board of Assessors documentation. They've got the old house that they say is abandoned, and then they've got the new house on this piece of property that we're not talking about. So there's a definite confusion in what to do. So, okay.
Okay, we'll look into it with the Board of Health, but that's.
I'll make them not to do with this. I just was trying because I didn't know, Norm. All right, move on.
Tim, can you turn up your volume a little bit?
Let me see if I can do that. Quick. Alt A. No. Darn it. Audio settings. Any better?
I can't really tell yet.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Oh boy.
now you're garbled.
Okay, let me go back down. How's that? Any better?
No.
I can hear him quite well.
But sometimes he's been a little bit on the garbled side. Anyway, we'll live with it.
Let me do the test mic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll leave it right here at this setting.
Okay. I do have one question for Julian
Yeah,
on the estate lots.
correct.
The note that you have on the estate lots, and I know you did update it to put proposed estate lots.
Yeah,
But the message on there that says this lot will not be blah, blah, blah,
further subdivided.
right, will not be further subdivided to reduce area or.
Oh, there's another Scribner.
What?
Well, we want to make sure that they don't reduce it. Sorry. Haste makes waste. Yes, it does say it twice, but it's just making sure that we realize we don't reduce those lots ever.
Yeah, right, right.
Good saying, Julian.
I'm sorry. We went through, today we had a busy day with this. Dave pointed out a few things and we were able to get it together so that we have this before us. And thank you, Dave. I didn't get to talk to you. Thanks very much for working with Ryan on making this all happen. We also added that other plan. So I don't know if you want me to go through this. Could you show the other plan? Because that shows, it might alleviate some other questions that the board may have.
Yeah, currently I have your modified plan, and Julian, thank you for working on this on a timely basis as well. Right now on the screen, if everybody's seeing it correctly, I have your revised plan that has the note for the estate lots.
Yeah.
Is everybody seeing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have that up.
Okay, but now the next plan, so that there's no question of the fiduciary situation. So what we've done, and I guess this is a good idea, but I want to just make sure that you guys, if this is it doesn't look like it's much work, but it is time consuming to do these things. But we showed each approximate where a house could go and where the driveway is going to come from. So we alleviate the whole question of fiduciary frontage. Every one of these lots comes off the street through a field, pretty much a field, and you can get to the house lots. So there should be no question about that part. Each lot has the minimum requirement of frontage of 200 feet or more, and area of 1 acre, 1.5 acres or more, 1.5 acres. And the proposed estate lots, which we will now, next meeting, I'm gonna get everything together for the special permits for those, but these lots show the requirements that's needed for you to be able to give us the special permit if you decide to at the special permit process. So there's 3 lots that are gonna be future estate lots. They all have over 5 acres of area in the big part. The dog leg going to them doesn't count as area, 50 feet wide. And then the rest of the lots are 1.5 acres plus with over 200 feet of frontage. And each can be accessed from Turkey Hill Road or Irish Lane up on the top. And that's pretty much it. We have, just to answer one other question for you, Tim, is we have perked every one of these lots with the Board of Health this fall.
Okay.
So Board of Health is very familiar with what's happening out here. So that is in the works. So that's where we're at. And I showed there's a pond, you can see it depicted. There's a pond that Negus had built. I'm talking to Jim, I think he built that like 70 years ago. And we're able to work around that. Actually very nice looking lots. But we're not working anywhere near any wetlands that cause any wetland filling.
Julian, that says fire pond. Is that you, fire department?
There's a fire hydrant there. Yes.
Okay. Is that and again, you might not know this, and I'm not sure anybody does on this meeting, but is that maintained by our fire department or by our?
No. That just has there's a hydrant that goes out towards Emerald Road. I think they maintain the connection because it's definitely looks like it's been used. They must clean them and just keep it open. But
all right, good enough. Thanks, I appreciate it. I just didn't know. I didn't know if that area would be a what's the word I'm looking for?
Easemented area?
Town?
Nope.
Okay.
Private property.
All right, good enough. Thank you.
I'd just like to comment that this build-out plan, at least to me, was very helpful, particularly where it is showing the wetlands and that sort of thing. It's just kind of a little bit of a reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
In looking at things.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for the next one, so that seems to help the cause. So I'll keep that in mind.
Through the chair to Julian, on lot 4, how close is that house drawing to the pond?
That is about probably 50 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
Waterfront.
Or mosquito trap.
One or the other.
The only thing, Julian, I was going to ask is, you mentioned the Board of Health doing all the perking. Do they ever do minutes on the reports for that? Do you know? Do you get copies of that?
I don't.
Okay.
But-
Just curious.
It's all the reports are they're on file. They're all public record at the Board of Health.
They bring that stuff up at their meeting because I've never seen it before, and it's curiosity is all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Norm, me personally, I looked over this, and again, I agree with the board. I appreciate Julian doing this because I think with what the land that's left in Rutland, with all the wetlands, hills, and problems, I think we're going to probably be asking for a lot of this on all future lots because there's really not a lot of good land left in Rutland. But I don't see any issues. I mean, I looked this over. I looked over what Dave says that Julian updated. Everything's got the frontage. It's got the acreage. There's no interferences. I'm willing to approve it right now.
Yeah, I didn't pick out anything wrong with it myself.
I think I'd have to go back maybe close to 30 years, being over there on Concom before that fire pond was put in. So it was something else. It's one thing I've never looked over when I've gone by it a couple of times, but this time I did today and to take a look at it. And yeah, I'm quite impressed with that fire pond.
Yeah.
Jim used to have bass in that pond until the otters came in and ate them all. As he was telling me that.
Oh, man.
Or I think we get rid of some of our beavers over by us, drop them off over there. Do a relocation and movement policy. I'll make a motion to endorse.
I'll second that.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Anybody, anything further?
Norm, I would say is for the Mylar, just to make it clean. Is there any chance like this reduce, and some of that stuff can get added to the Mylar? So even though we don't have it in front of us, we could sign the Mylar correctly?
You do have the Mylar. This plan is just for us to discuss. The Mylar doesn't have those houses and driveways because that would be cluttered on the drawing. The one that Dave had before, that's the plan that you guys need to sign. And I'd appreciate if we just, either I can cross out the second reduced and not print this again. That's a minor Scribner's. We already had one on this. I want to just expedite it. That's
Okay.
It's not wrong. It's not perfect, but it's not wrong.
Do you got any comment? Is that okay with us? I mean,
We'll just take a pen and we'll scratch out the second reduced.
I appreciate that. That'd be wonderful. Just one straight line right through to one reduced would be perfect.
I just wanted to have
The minutes.
the correct copy with all the correction on it.
Actually, Tim, just to jump in, the board, we do in the office have the correct copy. We're showing that on the screen right now. This shows the modification with the language proposed as state lots. The purpose statement has been changed to say this is for lots 1 to 12. So we have a Mylar that has that. I mean, actually right now, if it's okay, I'll just cross out that redundant reduce. I'll drop it up to town clerk's office. When the board can come in and sign it, that'd be great.
I'm good with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, then roll call vote. Dick,
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Tim, Norm, aye. And Dave, I'm assuming tomorrow you'll have that over at Town Hall?
Yes, I'll probably get over to the town clerk by 9:30 at the earliest.
Okay. Okay, next
Well,
item.
thank you, guys. That was easy.
Yep, easiest one in a long time.
Yeah, thank you.
We make it easy.
Okay, next item is Maple Hill Subdivision Estates. I don't believe we have anything new.
No,
Took a trip in there, 3 houses are being built. Hopefully, I was hoping Peter is in the background someplace. Is the wetland stuff all set in there?
Yes, it is. They have orders for the 2 lots that need them.
Okay, thank you.
And what has happened with the conservation restriction?
It's in legal review.
Okay,
I'll be emailing the town administrator to see if he can help push that along.
okay. Anything else on Maple Hill?
so Norm, that means that or Blair, that they're basically proceeding on their own? Because without that restriction, can they start? I didn't think they could start anything as subdivision till all the documents and everything, when I say documents, everything is finalized. What I'm saying is a building permit. How did they get a building permit to start that without all this documentation being done?
The conservation restriction is entirely that whole process is unrelated to building and building permits. A conservation restriction is something that's done asynchronously to that, to deal with ownership and rights. That's all that the conservation restriction is. And again, it's unrelated to any property getting a building permit.
Wasn't it related to our approval of that subdivision? Am I wrong?
That I don't know.
Cause I was under the impression that Quinn was looking into it or something like that, about that catch basin or the detention pond.
The only thing we were saying about is that we wanted a statement about the encumbrances for easements on the property, on the property that's going to get the conservation restriction.
Okay.
I guess what I'm getting at is I don't want to go through another Brice Lemon where properties are sold, people are buying them, they don't know about it, and I don't want to get into that. That's what I'm getting at, Norm, is, you know, if things aren't finalized and we're selling properties and building stuff over there, it's just making for another Brice Lemon mess, and I don't want to deal with it.
I don't think we have any requirement for requiring that a conservation restriction has to be in place prior to building.
Okay, good enough. Is it? Okay. And that conservation restriction is not part of any homeowners agreement, correct?
Correct. It's an agreement between the actual singular landowner, actually dual landowner, and the town
Okay.
and the state.
All right.
Right. This is not commonly owned land. It is land that's owned by Blair Development and whoever the guy is that they were swapping land with.
Yeah, okay.
So there's no common interest here with anybody else.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, anything else on Maple Hill? Okay, onward to Brice Lemon. I don't think we have, or do we?
Yeah, one from December 23rd, a report.
Okay, we do. me see.
I didn't like that, Norm, that on phase 2, that bullet, number 3.
Okay, let me hunt through and get this. Let's see. Okay, once again.
On phase 2, no roadway infrastructure, I don't care about that, was going on at the time of my visit. House construction appears to continue, but it says standing water and ice was observed at DP2.
Okay, what is DP?
Tension pond.
Oh,
Two. So standing water and ice would be okay in that.
yeah, yeah. Tim? You still there, Tim?
Nope. Don't hear him.
He's still on. Mr. Narwhal.
See, you write a note, Tim.
Yeah. Does Tim know that he is not being heard?
Tim, say something.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I was talking in my, and Charter decided to get rid of me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nope, I didn't walk off mad like Dick did, I promise.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Norm, is that DP2, is that a problem, or is it just,
It's a detention pond.
yeah, I mean, having it observed there, it's not finalized, so I didn't know if it was an issue or not.
I would think it would be expected that there would be this time of the year water and ice in them.
Okay. It was just a question. I saw it there and I was like, I better ask.
Mhm.
The paragraph after phase 3 is what I'm concerned with.
Oh, I didn't see that, Dick. Good call. I just was looking at the bullets. I didn't read that.
Mhm.
And my little notes on the side, what fines do we put on the builder? $250 a day?
Nah, you got to put that. You have to put that in the initial. We'd have to put, from a legal standpoint. My experience with that is when we do the initial terms, the orders of condition, we'd have to let him know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But is that something that we should have in our subdivision regulations?
I'm not, maybe we could. I'm not sure if we have that. If we actually have that ability to do that sort of thing. I know fines have never been discussed as part of the the planning board and the subdivision process.
Well, time has come.
And
Norm, sorry for interrupting. Could you guys just let me know what it is that you're referring to? Because we can't see it on the screen, so I'm just not sure what you guys are talking about.
okay,
And Dave,
yeah, Dave, if you can scroll down just a little bit further on
right
that.
there.
There, the very, very last paragraph.
Thank you.
Dave, didn't you let Blair know that we needed those?
Yes, I did send an email reminder looking to get a timeline on that item.
And
I've not received an answer.
okay. Now, this is Just so that I'm totally clear, this profile is for the phase 3 part of Woodside. That's what Quinn is talking about, right?
I am
I
thinking
bel-
that's what it was, yes.
Yeah.
And all the for sale signs are still up there.
Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming Julian is. Oh, Julian, are you still there?
I think he said he was gonna be leaving.
Yeah, he still shows that he is there, but he's muted. Calling Julian.
Write another note, put it up against the camera.
Yeah. Well, maybe he just forgot to log off.
I'm thinking, when I took a ride up there on phase 3, and the road that's gonna attach to phase 2, of course, isn't done yet. But I do believe I still have a map that Peter Crane and Tamika sent out some time ago. I've got to look it up because I'm a little bit confused on how the road was designed to attach.
Uh-huh.
Awful steep. All these. I tell you, I don't. I wish I wasn't a. I don't want to see a resident come out of the back of that house, slip and fall, slide down the bank and 200 feet to the bottom. It's something else.
Well, a couple of those houses at the end of phase 2, I'll tell you.
Yep.
That's. I think they need to put out cargo nets
Yeah.
all along their backyards.
I agree.
But
Be nice for sledding for young kids, for crying out loud. They can go.
I wouldn't sled down that hill.
Yeah. I can see now a kid with a piece of plastic or a piece of cardboard
Yeah,
after a nice storm.
like I say, it's the sledding would be fine. It's the sudden stop at the end.
That's right.
That would be quite a stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, is there? Did we just ask Dave to do another, another call?
I'm going to say, Dave, if you can tickle Mr. Blair again on this, and you might, just note that we have already posted the public hearing. So if we don't get all of that in time for review, it's going to slow down that public hearing process.
Yes, no, I have requested that information. I have made it known that the legal notice has been submitted to the paper, and that there's a hearing on the 26th. So he's aware of that, and I've made the request for the existing and proposed conditions for each of the things that he seeks to modify.
Yeah. So, well, if he doesn't provide it, then we just won't accept the modifications.
Wow.
Okay.
Norma, are we gonna get in trouble because we've got hearings posted and no documentation over at the clerk's office?
If I could jump in on that, so we do have an application that was submitted. The application is in the office. The application itself is acceptable. Not accept. I mean, it can be accepted and recorded with the clerk. That's the prerogative of the applicant, is to submit their application and have it received by the town clerk. We cannot refuse an application. Having said that, the application needs more information. But the town has to accept an application. It can't go and refuse it, even if it's incomplete.
No, I'm just trying to see, David, if the public comes and wants to view something and it's not there, how do we, I guess, well, I've never had to deal with that before, have we, Norm?
Well, I think tonight's discussion on this agenda item is providing information to the public.
Okay.
Mhm.
If anybody has any further questions, they're always welcome to contact the office, and I'll be glad to explain what we received and what it is that we're looking for, and what efforts have been made to obtain that information.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
So when was the public hearing?
It's the 26th, Dick.
So, the bottom line is we can't really proceed and, to complete that public hearing until we get it.
Yeah.
And Norm, I wanted to point out that public hearing on the 26th is the same day they're having that public hearing for the road, and it's relatively, if I remember right, close to our meeting.
Oh, okay. You mean Pommogussett?
Yeah, the Pommogussett thing. So we can talk about that later. I just wanted to throw it out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do we have anything more on Brice Lemon?
The reason why I wanted Quinn Engineering about that catch basin down at the end on Main Street, sitting right beside it is a crossover underneath the road drain. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Quinn Engineering to be advised. I want to know where the heck is the water from that end of the road at the beginning there. Where's it going?
Mm-hmm.
And where did, 122A, where did that water go? It's coming from, what do you want to call it, the south side and heading to the north side. So if there was any amount of water, it would aggravate what is already there in that catch basin.
Mm-hmm.
Norm,
Yeah.
Peter Crane has his hand up.
Yeah. Peter?
Yeah, excuse me. Back when the planning board was looking and evaluating the overall subdivision plan, did you hire an engineer to do any hydrologic flow studies?
I know.
The planning board did not directly.
Okay.
They're I believe we did get a copy of a study that Blair had done.
And Carl would have reviewed that, Norm, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. Would it be easy to get a hold of that so I could read through it?
My
I'm gonna
guess is
suggest probably no, but because we know the paper.
my guess is probably yes. It should be part of our Brice Lemon file.
In the books, correct, Norm? If I'm not mistaken, the one over in Dave's office, those 3 or 4 books.
Well, either in the books or actually the thing is those reports are usually bound reports, multi-pages, 30, 40, 50, 60 pages. So it might be being kept as a separate book.
I'll reach out to Dave and I'll see if we can get together and see if I can just snag it to read it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there is one, and it should still be there in the planning board office.
If we probably got multiple copies and sent one to Carl to review. So if Carl keeps a file, like I'm sure he does, on everything we send him, he might have that in his file too. This is more for Peter and David.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Anything further on Brice Lemon? Okay, hearing nothing, we'll go on to the next, which is master plan update, which I believe you all received copies from Dave of a couple of documents. And the letters of interest, which our task tonight is going to be to appoint the members of the committee. I guess before we start, because I'd kind of like to go through these letters one by one just to make sure, but does anybody have any thoughts, comments, questions before we start?
Norm, since I asked, do I need to recuse myself?
No.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, I'm gonna hope that you have the letters in the same order that I have. Let me see, let me get to them here. The first letter of interest I have is from Kate Gervais, who I think at least some of you are familiar with.
Yes.
She is on the Agricultural Commission, I believe, or
Correct.
was. And she is also on the Rutland Earthworks Board. I know she also worked for a while for the Worcester County Conservation Commission. And I don't know, I guess I'm just going to ask anybody any comments.
I'm okay with her.
Do we want to go through all these, Norm, and then go back and just? I guess what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
instead of appointing top to bottom, we just go through all the letters and ask questions, then go back to the top, or go back and appoint.
Yeah. Well, we can do it individually, but that's going to be 8 or 9 roll call votes.
Yeah.
You know, or we can just go through all of the letters and then decide.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there's 9 letters here, right?
I believe so.
Well, there's 8, and then I counted you as number 9.
Correct.
So, okay.
Okay, let's just go through the letters one by one here.
Yep. All right.
Anybody else? Any comment on Kate?
Nope. Know her well. She does a great job.
Okay, the next letter I have is from a Brian Hunton. And it appears to me he has, experience, not necessarily
Planning experience.
Yeah, not necessarily a lot of planning experience or land experience, but some fairly impressive experience.
Yeah. And based on Norm, what I've read through his letter, he looks like when he gets involved, he gets committed. So that was the time thing that I was looking for.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does anybody know anything more particularly about him?
And then the other thing I was going to say, with his daughter turning 5, he's still got 13 more years in the Wachusett system. So we got to get
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good choice.
So,
Anybody else?
I don't, let's put it this way, I don't see any problems.
I don't see a problem.
I agree.
Okay. Next one I have is, now this one we gotta give it some real scrutiny.
Yeah, this guy, watch, he made it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But Dick, I chose to use the RDIC as my platform.
Mhm. Which is kind of a necessary thing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say no, it's a good thing. Uh, I guess, and again, certainly, just your experience, granted, is on the planning board, but with RDIC, that particularly is talking about. I'd like to think business development, as much as that hasn't really panned out very much, but certainly there's a little different slant from the RDIC.
Yeah, and I've done the fire brigade too, so I've been involved. Which I didn't put in there. I've been the treasurer of the fire brigade for the last 4 years, so I've had to deal with. I know the financial difficulties of town,
Yeah.
and then I have a very strong FICOM member living in my household.
Yeah. So I don't know. Other than sometimes he can be a little bit of a troublemaker, I don't see any problem.
I'll approve of them. Thank goodness we moved the rock so we can be part of it.
Okay. Next we have. This is an indirect letter. Yeah, we don't have a direct one. This is from Peter Crane, nominating Melissa Danza. And I guess the only thing I can say is Peter very highly recommended her.
Is this the young lady that was from Uxbridge or something like that?
Now Southborough.
Southborough.
Yeah, she moved. She moved town she's the agent for.
So, Peter, do you have any further comments on her?
I do not. I cannot recommend her highly enough. If she's interested, and I really believe the committee can make use of her talents.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows about the long haul, Peter, about this being, minimum 18 months, could be multiple years.
I refer you to paragraph 2. She has experience working on master plans.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so she's got to know. It's not an overnight thing. Okay, everybody okay with Melissa?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, the next one we have is from Elisa O'Coin.
He's got master planning experience. That's the first thing I read.
Well, master planning, my thoughts are that master planning may not be in the sense that we're thinking it.
Yeah, because I saw project manager in there, and I was an architecture, and I have as a space planner and project manager.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like corporate, if I may say.
Yeah.
Which is not against, not a knock. It is merely an observation.
Yeah.
Being the picky guy that I am, note she spelled architecture wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a.
Well, better than I did.
Yeah.
So.
This brings up a good point. She's the first one to say it, but it'll be in future letters that are coming out. Are they looking to get started on this master plan, like in a week or two, or, the reason I ask, because I know Dick and I've talked about this. This Zoom thing is a struggle to execute work. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Well, I have to agree there. However, I can tell you, first meeting will be scheduled before the end of January.
Okay.
And I don't think they're gonna wait for coronavirus to disappear.
Okay, good enough. Then should we
Anybody?
back out to her through David and say that this is going to be electronically for the foreseeable future and see if she's still interested?
Well, I think she, from the way I read the letter, she wants it to be electronic.
Okay.
She doesn't want us to come out and sit as a group.
All right. Oh, I don't feel comfortable. I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. By the way, did you, Dave, did you reply to her on that, whether it would be in person or electronically?
Yes, just to broaden this, anybody who had particular questions besides just indicating their interest, I responded to those folks and I
Okay.
answered their questions. In this case, I indicated that for now, the meetings are going to be held on a remote basis, until we have clearance to have meetings in person again. But I also indicated to her that maybe meetings going forward after the COVID hopefully is done soon, maybe will be a hybrid type of meeting where we have some people in person, some people on a remote basis. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I did answer her question.
Okay, good. Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Anything further on Lisa?
No?
Okay. The next one we have is from a Mitchell Gill, excuse me.
I think he's on our call too, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's
Yep, he is.
Let's see. Mitch, do you have anything you'd like to say for yourself?
Hi, Norm. No, just basically what was in my letter. And I'm now a town resident. I know the town pretty well. And I would like to serve. I'm very interested in serving on the MPSC. And I think I would be an asset to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's see, he has some experience in civil engineering.
Bridges. I like that.
Right. Now, did you work for Blair for a while?
11 years, yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's what kind of.
Yeah, I've been before you and Dick. I've worked with you guys in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know I'm horrible at this. I couldn't place your face, but I recognize the name. So, okay. Anybody else have any thoughts about Mitchell?
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, now I see your face. I'll see if I can remember it. I'm very, very bad at that.
I am too, actually.
Okay, and I think that's it. Did I miss anybody?
No, we had.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
if you look at the packet, there are several other letters or emails in there.
Yeah, there's a gentleman from Brice Lemon from Sedona.
oh, okay. Okay, I was looking at this wrong. Okay. Tyler Rogers.
And Norm, he spelled architecture correctly.
Yeah. Oh. Green architecture. Environmental remediation company. That's interesting. It,
Oh, Dave, did you answer his questions, what he put out?
Yes, I did answer that question. Yes, I did.
Because I saw the compensation. The answer is no.
a pat on the back, maybe.
Yes.
And a job well done.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're going to do these remotely for now.
hmm
Norm, I didn't have any issues.
I don't. It doesn't look like a lot of experience with quotes, town government or town issues necessarily, but that's okay. We want a variety, and as I'm looking over this whole bunch, we've got a variety,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that's kind of what I'm liking. Just hoping that it all works together. So.
We have one more after Tyler, Dave. Or was Tyler the last one? I didn't.
No, we have one last one, which is kind of a,
Yeah, that's a big negative.
so what? We have Leah Whiteman.
Not going to happen.
So,
No, do a great job. She got nominated to another committee last night, if I'm not mistaken. Dick, were you on last night?
Yes.
Yeah, she's on open space.
Yeah, she got the open space. Thanks. So. Well, that's 9. No, do we want to? I mean, 7 and 9 was the number.
yeah.
I'm not sure based on. This is just my opinion. Based on the length and potential for issues over a year and a half or 2 years, having 9 and getting reduced to 7 would still put the committee functional. So I personally don't have an issue with 9.
hmm Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of a good thought because over a year or a year and a half, you don't know what might happen to some one member or two members.
Yeah, and if you keep 9 people there and you end up with 7 after 2 years, you've still got a good selection. But all of them were involved through the entire meetings.
Right.
So you don't have to do what was I suggesting? Alternates or something like that.
Yeah, I think we're all set. We've got the 9.
Yeah, I do too. Do we need to have a motion to appoint the 9 individuals that we've just discussed to the master plan steering committee?
I would say yes, we do.
So moved.
Tim, I apologize for interrupting. I'm only counting 8. Who is the 8th person? 9th person?
Mr. Norm Anderson.
Norm. Okay, thank you.
I apologize. I probably should have said that.
Tim, you still got the letters in front of you?
Yeah.
How about being very, very specific in your,
Okay. I've got them in a PDF, so let me hold on a second. I got to get to my mail. I got Dave's email that he sent me. Get back to the addendum that he sent us, and I can walk through and do the appointments. There it is. Steering committee interest. PDF letters. All right, so make a motion to appoint. Come on, get down there. Kate Gervais. I'm bad with name. Gervais. Thank you. For a member of the master plan steering committee, and Mr. Brian Hutton. Can I make a motion to appoint myself?
Sure.
And The third person is Tim Narwhal from the RDIC. Fourth person is Norm Anderson from the Planning Board. Fifth person is Miss, Melissa Danza. The sixth person is Miss Lisa Coyne. Seventh person is Mr. Mitchell Gill. Eighth person is Mr. Tyler Rogers. And the ninth person on the committee is Miss Leah Whiteman from the Select Board.
I'll second that.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, then let's do our roll call vote. Let's see, where do I want to start this time? We'll start with Marilyn,
Aye.
Dick,
Aye.
Tim,
I, except I abstain for the voting of that Tim Narwhal guy.
okay, and Norm Anderson, aye. The motion carries.
Good. Good job.
And I guess, next thing is going to be for Dave to notify those members that they have been appointed and then try to work out a schedule for our first meeting. I know I talked with Dave a little bit about this today. He is going to send out something looking for what will be each member's best days to meet, which could be interesting. We already kind of narrowed things down to it's almost going to have to be either a Wednesday or a Thursday. Mondays are select board. Tuesdays are Concom and planning board. So, that kind of narrows it down right there. Unless it turns out that these can be daytime meetings, which is, I think, kind of unlikely. So I guess that's kind of where that goes. The only other thing I'd note in the memorandum that we got from CMRPC is that the steering committee itself will have to select a chair, vice chair, and clerk. I'm kind of hoping we can find someone who will be the clerk from within the committee. But we'll have to wait and see how that happens. Any comments?
Oh. Good luck with it. And one thing, as you're moving on, is there a ability for somebody to listen into you people?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure in the memo they sent out, the meetings are going to be public meetings.
Yep.
And 99.9 chances out of 100, I would say, it's going to be by Zoom. So, agendas will be published. The Zoom meeting number will be given, and the meeting is pretty much going to be carried by, I think, CMRPC. However, and like I say, I have no idea who is going to be the chair, but it would seem appropriate that, as long as it doesn't get out of hand, that what do I want to say? The regular comments from outside, of the actual membership should be, I guess I'll say, welcomed at all times. That's my thought. I don't know how everybody else thinks that.
I like it as long as it doesn't interfere with the main running.
Yeah, and like I say, it's one of these things where, there might need to be some kind of control on that, but by the same token, I don't want anyone to get the impression that this is going to be a closed process, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an open process. But how all of that exactly happens will depend on the chairman, whoever that happens to be, a chairperson, I should
Well,
say.
I just remember 20 years ago, we used to have some very good turnouts in the auditorium when we were putting the first one together.
Oh, I remember that very, very well.
And I just hope that this one can, be that way also.
Well, at least maybe by the fall, either later summer or in the fall,
Yeah,
we may just be able to start doing that. It will make things a lot more productive if we can.
I agree.
Yeah. By the way, I think I just something just thought of. I will accept a motion to appoint Dave George as an ex officio member of the steering committee.
Oh my gosh, does he get compensated for it? I hope so.
Yes, and part of that motion, Norm, I would like to renegotiate with the. I'll be quiet. No.
Do I have a motion?
Oh, so moved, Norm.
Yeah, second.
Any discussion? Okay, once again, in favor, roll call, Dick,
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Norm, aye. Dave, you're an ex officio member.
And please deduct the hours associated with that meeting from your 8 hours per day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, actually, on a related note to that, there is a contribution from the town, which the CMRPC has indicated that would be the staff's time towards this project. There was that $5,000 contribution from the town, so that is how that's going to work out.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I know this is not particularly on our agenda, but I am noticing we have something like 16 or 17 participants on here. And since we've taken care of the most important of our business, I think, or the most critical of our business, is there anyone else out there who is listening that wishes to be heard, to say something, comment on something?
I think, Norm, when you get to number 11 in our agenda, I think we're going to hear a lot of comments coming in.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess. I could be wrong.
Okay. Okay, I haven't heard anybody raising their hands, so I guess we'll go onward. Revision to subdivision regulation, roadway cross-section, and other topics. I don't know. Are we ready to do any more discussion on that?
I know tonight I'm not, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I don't think we've gotten anything further from Quinn Engineering on this yet, have we, Dave?
We've not received anything further from Quinn. I think the board received information, well, the board received information from Quinn, those various samples from other towns.
Right.
I can look through I can take a look at my notes to see what we're looking for from Quinn on that. But they've
Yeah.
provided that, the samples to the board.
Yeah, I'm just, I
Did
don't,
we have questions? We had like 3 or 4 questions on future items that we were going to send out to Carl to see if he could help us out with.
I honestly can't say that I particularly recall.
I'd have to go back and look at my notes.
It was my understanding that the next big item was to look at the road cross section.
Yeah, because I thought we'd sent a request out to Carl for, depth, road width, and amount of, levels of what's the word I'm looking for? Construction material in the road.
Yes, and he came back with examples from several towns.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Must have been last meeting. I missed it.
Yeah.
Is that the next
Shrewsbury.
attack?
He did not make any recommendations to us.
Oh, okay. Do we want to go back to him and ask him for a recommendation instead of just samples?
I don't know, is that fair for us to ask him?
I mean, I think you could ask for a best practice, a recommendation. I don't know that they'd have any issue doing that. I made the request as I had understood it, which was to look for samples so that the board could take stock of what's out there. I think the board has taken stock of what's out there, and if the board feels more comfortable with Quinn making a recommendation based upon their vast experience, I can ask that question and see what we get back for an answer.
Okay. I don't know, that sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Good to me, as long as we had an inch to the top paving.
I think that could be the next one we tackle. Next meeting is get this road base out of the way and check that off the list.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I guess that's as far as we're going with subdivision regulations. Number 9, CMRPC quarterly meeting. I'm assuming that's just informational.
Yes, and the notice is informational for anybody in the public or the board who might be interested in this. We do have Dick. I'm not sure if you're interested in this in particular as a delegate. Sean's also aware of it as the associate delegate.
Right, I'm aware of it, and I'll be contacting them tomorrow about it. I do have it open, so I am going.
Okay. Number 10, Planners Forum. Dave?
So there's going to be a planners forum next week on the 20th regarding economic development, public works, and so forth. So I will be attending that, and I can provide an update to the board at its next meeting.
And then on top of that, Dave, could we see your expense account to approve that too? I'm kidding.
Yes, my expense account is to put the computer on and virtually travel to Worcester, and then virtually come back from Worcester.
Okay, I just want to make sure because that computer uses about 180 watts an hour, so I want to make sure we get the electric costs in there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just being a smart aleck.
Need to
I thought I heard something about troublemaker earlier on in this meeting.
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay, number 11, virtual hearing, Mass DOT, proposed reconstruction of Route 56.
Where the heck do you want to begin on that?
Well, the first question I got is I've been through this and either I'm blind, stupid, or I can't find out a time on any of these notices. I can find out it's on the 26th, but is it just going to be on their website and anybody can go on and dig
That
it
is correct. It is not a public hearing as we think of it,
out? Okay, that's what I was guessing. All right.
because there is no public interaction. They will do their thing, record it, and put it up on their website on the 26th.
Okay, and then you can review it from there, which that's an odd public hearing.
Well, it's not what we're used to, that's for sure.
No. And not only that, last night it was brought up the selectmen's meeting also, trying to get anybody that has any questions to get recorded and sent to them prior to this.
Yes.
Anybody have any idea how close this is to actually being done?
Yeah, they said, Norm, in the select board meeting that it was scheduled to commence in 2022, so basically a year after next.
Okay.
And
No, year after this. We're in 2021.
yeah, well, that's what I meant, a year from now.
Yeah.
I say today, 2022, which wouldn't happen until the spring because they can't start construction in the winter. I mean, they could if they wanted, but it sounded to me, and I listened to Chief Buckley last night, and I guess he's looked at their schedule and it had like a year to do this project. He didn't sound confident they could get it done in a year. But it included the spillway, the dam, and then the road work and all that, and then everything they mentioned here, sidewalks. You know,
Well,
And I also, when the selectmen first brought this up at a public hearing, I remember Sheila saying a spare sidewalk going up on the baseball field side for the kids from Deverell to walk. I also want to know how Miles Road is being, reconstructed. I also asked the town some time ago, have they thought about the right of ways? They're supposed to start purchasing people's properties that are going to be taken. Have they done any of that yet? And if the
We know
town,
the answer to that's no, Dick. Come on.
and I'll tell you right now, being on the transportation committee on Central Mass Regional Planning, if the town does not do that, this thing may be kicked back 4 or 5 years. So there are a lot of things, and I don't like the way they got this hearing, this pre-recorded hearing thing set up.
mm,
This is not really a good way to go.
well, my big question, which just from the engineering standpoint, is where the heck are the drawings on this system? What they're going to do? Where's it? I mean, do we have to go to Boston to look at these drawings of the engineered product that they're going to provide? Dick, that would answer a lot of your questions. If I could see drawings, I could see what they're going to do.
yeah.
I just
How
tomorrow.
about DCR? I contacted DCR because I don't want a dam. I want a sluiceway. I want to reduce that pond just to a river or a brook. And DCR was going to get back to me. Never heard a peep from them.
I was going to talk to the chief tomorrow and call him up and ask, where do I go look for these drawings? I see a project number, and I see Make It Attention Boston, 10 Plaza or Park Plaza. Personally, I'm not driving into Boston to look at drawings.
I would think that Joe Buckley probably will have a pair, and if not, probably District 3 would have it.
Well, and my thought process is, we're the whole state of Massachusetts is all about electronics. Where's the PDF on this? So, so people can look at this electronically online. You know, anyhow, I'll talk to the chief tomorrow, and anything I find out, Dave, unless you know of something I don't know, I was just gonna, for whatever I find out, I was gonna pass it to you to get out to the board.
And if
I don't
you
have
mind
any
me poking the
particular.
bear for just a second, if you go to the website that they point you to right there, this public hearing is not listed.
Oh, that's even funnier.
At least it wasn't when I went looking earlier.
It's even
I'm
funnier.
sorry, Dave, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, and you raise a very excellent point. If this is not even posted, what is really going on out there? I'm just going to say I don't have any particular knowledge of this. I found out about this when Dick forwarded this email to me, which I'm not distributing to the board for everybody's information. But it seems to be a lot of questions being raised here. You know, where are the plans? What can you look at ahead of time? How do you access the meeting? Can you only provide comments after the fact? That's interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard of a public. I don't know how you can call it a public hearing when the public's not involved.
It's simple. They don't have technology. They can only record.
Well, Mr. Baker can seem to have sign language people on all of his meetings at 12 o'clock every day. I'm struggling with this. Oh, well, okay.
Just to let you guys know, back when I used to talk to the selectmen about it, I also told them to put 3,000 feet of cast iron sewer line in the ground, just in case something went wrong on Brittenell where it goes up over the hill.
Well,
Because it is all downhill from Brittenell to the crossover of the sewer line.
Well, the funny thing is, Norm, is now we'll have the from the center of town to Brunel, we'll have from 68 down to a little past Campbell Street, and we're left in the middle.
yeah, I know. It just seemed like an odd place to stop it.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, what?
Oh.
But that I just found that interesting. But I guess they'll use Chapter 90 money to finish out Pommogussett at some time, is my guess.
Well, I hope so, because I'll tell you, it's deteriorating.
Yeah, like you probably seen in front of my house, I've got a 6-inch drop from the center of the road to the edge, where it's broken away like basically an earthquake has separated the asphalt from the road itself. So.
Yeah. And I don't know, every time I drive down by Molten Pond there, it seems as though that part of the road is a little bit further down than it has been.
Yes.
Well, the DPW.
No, what street Rutland hasn't changed like that? Every one of them has.
Oh, I get it. Rutland. I understand now. Got it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I'm hoping that the select board or something like that was going to put something up. They talked about it on the webpage, but I'm not on Facebook or anything like that, so I don't know how I'm going to get any attention about this.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't sound like they're even really inviting anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's I don't know. I have one little tiny thing about this reconstruction, and I don't know if any of you have really noticed it, but if you come out of the town hall parking lot onto Pommogussett, the line of sight up to the actual intersection with 122A
Terrible.
is absolutely terrible. And it doesn't look like it should be. But I'll tell you, the cars just appear. The ones that are turning off 122A onto Pommogussett, they just appear like magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Norm, I like to call that gambling, getting onto Pommogussett right there.
Well, it is. It is.
And I can remember an accident being in there. The woman just couldn't hit the pedal fast enough and just
Mhm.
side swiped.
So
Well,
I just had to wonder if there's anything in those plans to improve that line of sight.
put in a sidewalk.
We need to take Norm Anderson's way back in the master plan and have that road come out at the crossroad of Maple and Main. Move Pommogussett.
Well, Norm, I just checked the website that Peter was just talking about, and at this moment in time, what's today, the 11th or 12th? 2 weeks off, they still don't have anything listed, but they've got stuff listed out till February for other meetings.
It says in the original paper where there that it'll be posted on January 26th. In the big black box on the original page.
On their website, Marilyn, they've got like Sandwich, Framingham, and Hardwick as virtual design public hearings, and they have nothing 26th of December or 26th of January on there. So,
Saying on the notice of a virtual public hearing,
yeah,
that the meeting will be posted to the website on January 26, 2021.
okay. Well, on their website, it's upcoming events for Mass DOT Highway Design Public Hearings, and they've got publication dates of their hearings for webinars or I'm sorry, virtual, and none of them have this thing listed on there. So,
Well, nowhere in this notice does it say when they're actually holding the public hearing.
Right.
oh, good point.
They may have already held it.
Could be.
This is where they get the remarks, and then they'll have the public hearing with the rest of hopefully public comments taken care of.
Well, I'm still going to call Chief Buckley tomorrow and see, because they talk about proposed cross sections of travel, shoulders, hot mix asphalt sidewalks on one side with granite curve. All of us who have driven that know that where the heck is that going to go? I mean, on one side, you've got a ledge rock that goes up 30 feet. On the other side, you've got a drop off that goes down 30 feet.
They're going to have to move a lot of dirt.
Yeah, that's it, Norm.
And up out of the parking lot with Blair's house just the other side of Molten Pond, don't they park almost right on the street itself?
Yeah, Dick,
Oh, yeah.
if they take 5.5 feet or 5 feet of shoulder, they're barely going to have enough to get an 8-foot car in there.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Anyhow.
So just the road work is $6,483,870.
And the other $4 million is for the dam and the culvert.
They don't talk about the dam or the culvert at all. Because that is in fact a separate project that's not tip related,
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
but has to be done at the same time, and they know it.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead, Norm.
wasn't there some talk that they were actually probably going to have to close Pommogussett Road for some length of time?
That is correct, and that's just what I was going to bring up. And that's why I think they want to get most of it done, with exception of the dam, and then do that afterwards.
Hmm.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Norm, didn't they use that one road?
Yeah, Molten Mill.
Yeah, Molten Mill Road as the bypass for emergency vehicles. Because Tommy indicated that when he was chief, that there was enough space to get a fire truck and ambulance through that road.
Hmm.
If I remember right. Again, this is going back 4 or 5 years,
Hmm.
maybe even 6.
I can just see them detouring traffic down Glenwood Road to Brentnell Drive.
And you know what, Norm? I'm gonna buy that red house and turn it into a garage for repairing cars.
Yeah.
I'll do your front end alignment for $99.95.
Right. Wow.
Oh, that's why I said, Norm, you need to talk to the chief and have him just pave Brittenell and be done with it.
Yeah.
Just get Benoit in there and asphalt the whole thing all the way to Glenwood.
Right. Well, he actually did a nice job of filling in the potholes that were in there.
Yeah.
So you can actually drive down it now.
I just wondered if any of these people that were here, since we're on 11, that was my guess why they were here to ask questions.
Yeah, and I guess I still see a number of these people. Is there anyone else out there that wishes to comment on this particular part of the meeting?
Because we've just got one thing left, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's just nothing else on TV, so people are watching.
When you get to 12, I just was curious, what do we need to do with this? Or do we need to do anything?
Either we tell the ZBA that we do have a concern regarding the variance, or we tell them that we have no concern.
Okay.
Go
So,
quiet, and I think, in my opinion, they can either go to ZBA or hook a tractor to it and yank it around towards the other little building they had.
My opinion's leave it alone and let them give them the variance.
Yeah, let them go to ZBA.
Yeah.
Dick, just to clarify, there is a hearing scheduled for this on February 3rd with the ZBA.
Do we need to send them, Norm, a letter saying that we have no contentions?
we should.
Okay. I personally don't. With the stone wall there and no houses around, this to me is like shaming them. Shame on them for putting it in, but you know, it's in. To me, it's not a distraction or an issue. It's not a hazard to vehicles. I mean, it's not blocking views from the driveway. Just give them. I don't see it as an issue for a variance.
I don't have any problem with it. Anyone else?
Excuse me, Norm, through you to Tamika. What time was that?
It's going to be at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 3rd on Zoom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if I could just jump in on this real quick. So the board will see periodically when there's going to be a ZBA matter that the board is asked to take a look at it and review it, whether it has comments or not. This is transmitted to the board because it's required to be. In the zoning statutes, there's a requirement that zoning board matters be transmitted to the board for any comment that the board may have. So in most of the cases, the board doesn't have any particular issue. Sometimes it does, and sometimes those comments have been useful and they have informed the ZBA's decision-making, such as superior storage. You know, the board has some issues there, and those got brought into the discussion. If there's no particular issue, what I will be doing is drafting a formal letter to the ZBA chair indicating that the board either has no issue or list out what those issues might be.
Right.
Do we need a vote, Norm, to say that the planning board has no issue?
You know, if we did have issues, I think I would want it to be a vote. If nobody seems to have any issues, I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, that's item number 12. Does anybody have anything else to come before the board?
Yeah, Norm, if I could, and Dick forwarded something to me. What is this, Dick? DLTA funds?
Yeah, they're putting together there's another batch of money coming through for DLTH. And one of the things I had asked Janet about is APR, money for APR. And, you know, to have money set aside or something like that, if a piece of property comes up that we can put an agricultural preservation restriction on or something like that. I'm also bringing this up to the Ag Commission at our next meeting also. But I just wanted to put it before you, to give Dave a heads up what Janet had mentioned about it, and that it is something that they probably could ask for.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Dick,
I
do
did.
we have or Norm or Dave or Marilyn, do we have a fund set up in town for that already? I thought
we do have a fund, but there's no money per se to say that is in it, and that's what I'm trying to get some funds into it.
Well, that's what I was wondering, Dick. We've got something set up that makes it a whole lot easier to transfer money into it that we get.
And what little bit money there was transferred over at December 3rd's town meeting to the Agricultural Preservation Fund.
Oh.
And to me, that's very important. There are some parcels of property in town here. There's a little bit of talk going on, and I feel like they're being used for farming right now, and I want to have an opportunity to try to preserve it.
Mhm.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea if we can.
How do we get the money?
Well, that's just it. That's why I'm trying to thinking about the DLTH, if that's an opportunity or something like that to help out or whatever. So
I will ask it, and maybe I haven't done enough and I've missed it, but did we ever finalize that list of APR and 61A land into like a database?
never saw the map.
Well, I know the map probably wasn't going to happen. I was looking more for a database.
The assessors should have that. Every piece of property, they should have done deed searches on and found every 61A. 61, 61A, and 61B. And there are, I actually got a query several years ago when doing the open space plan.
Okay.
I got that dumped from the assessor's office.
Dave, did you get a piece of paper from them at one time?
Yes, we distributed that to the board. It was the list of 61A. I also received an Excel spreadsheet, which I thought I forwarded to you, of the Chapter 61A lands. As I recall, conservation in the open space preservation plan had a list of conservation restricted properties and APR properties. I thought that there was going to be a way to get that information and merge it with the Chapter 61A database.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to do. Do we need to get somebody to do that? Because with that database, and to Dick's point a while back, if a piece of property comes in and we've only got 180 days, whatever, we can easily look at that and say, hey, this is APR property. Its only purpose would be to use in a town leasing environment for farming. But if it's 61A, the town could possibly purchase it and use it for buildings or something else. So that's basically what I was trying to do, is come up with a database of or an Excel spreadsheet or something of properties that would help the planning board make a decision quickly.
Planning
Well,
board.
I thought that you were taking the lead on that. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm not recollecting correctly.
I might have. I don't know if maybe I should ask Peter, do you have that Excel APR that I could get from you? Because then I could put it together with the Excel spreadsheet that Dave.
Mine is wickedly out of date. I would take the one because mine came from the assessor's office anyway.
Okay, so
If you have the
Peter,
Excel
you
spread,
say,
go ahead.
Are you saying that the assessor's office has a list of APR protected properties and conservation restrictions? It's my understanding that they did not have that.
That's where I got the list from.
Oh, okay, good. That's where you got it from, yeah.
Is there any chance, Peter, that you still have that list that I could give it to him and say, please update this?
I'll see if I can find it for you.
Okay, I just, it's easier to give them something to start from than a blank piece of paper is what I'm getting at.
Well, this may be a good thing for Dave to write out for DLTH funding to do this, to have them do this. Central Mass or whatever, to come up and make out this listing. And back to Peter for a moment, and sorry to interrupt this, but the other night in Concom, when you were talking about, I've already done this to the planning board, but I'm going to do it to you now. When you do 61A and you have so many acres of field, there was 6 or 8 acres there for, this is minor, and I think it was 30 something forested, you have equal amount of 6 acres field and 6 acres of forest. But the assessors don't show where that 6 acres of forest are. So that's one of the things that I was upset about.
That is generally still true to my knowledge. They don't have, because I don't think they have the specific coordinates that would be necessary to put it onto a map.
Well, and to me, the Board of Assessors should go back to the landowner and get it, because to me, it's something that should be preserved and not built on, or, you know, it's got to be distinctive. Out there, oh, I can't think of the word, but it should be on a map, period. Okay. But maybe this is something that Dave could ask for a grant for, to have this done, Tim.
All right, I'm trying to see. Dave might have sent it to me and I blanked. I just want to make sure I've got it, and then I can move on. Because what I'll do is, if Peter can find something to give it to me, I have no problem going forward. Yep, I've got it. The special, I guess you call this special your Excel spreadsheet, David, with special uses. I think that was it.
And the titling is the assessor's titling. So I don't have that in front of me, but you ought to see a very long list of addresses, parcel ID numbers, and Chapter 61 designation.
Yep, I've got map, cut, block, lot, location, building numbers, land codes, all that stuff, and then what it is, 61. It's basically 61, 61A, and then a little bit of 61B. So yeah, I've got that. So with that, and whatever Peter hopefully can find and send me, and I can go to the Board of Assessors and see if they could give me an update to the one that Peter's got, because again, it's probably out of date. Then I guess I'll try to figure a way to merge the two, and then get it back to you, Dave, and keep it in the planning, the town planning directory or something for our use. I don't know. Does that sound good to the board?
Yeah.
Good step.
Okay. All right. Man, there's a lot of land under 61 and 61A and 61B. Holy crap.
Well, some of it is also APR'd.
Yeah, and that's not listed on here. So what that's part of what we'll have to get from the assessor's office. Okay. All right. I got it. Thanks.
Norm, there's a party with their hand up, Steve Mantanis.
Hi guys, just had a question. Sorry, I joined the meeting a little late, around 7:30. So I'd like to go back to the discussion on Brice Estates, if you guys just have a couple minutes.
Yes.
Sure. So, maybe 2 weeks ago, it was probably 2 weeks ago from today's date, I sent an email, to each of the departments, and we brought it up on the conservation committee last week. Peter was actually a big help on that call. We're just, as a subdivision, I know we've had some significant, drainage issues here, and I know we keep going back and forth on it, and I know it's not a surprise to you guys at this point, but I had sent some pictures and some videos over to you guys in an email. I just hadn't had a response from you guys. Just wanted to kind of get your input. I'm not sure if you read the email or not, but really stems from a significant drainage issue, or I think it's a drainage easement that actually flows between my yard and my neighbor's yard. I'm lot 40R. I believe my neighbor's lot is lot 39R, but there's a drainage easement going between the two lots that has impacted, some of the road. Obviously, we've gone to Concom with this, but it's actually impacted, some drainage in the backyard, actually runoff from this hill behind my house. And that's created some significant drainage issues behind 4 or 5 other houses downhill, or I should say downgrade from my lot. And I guess my question is, going back to the original plans here and the original approval of the subdivision, I'm trying to figure out who reviewed the grading of these lots. So who did the peer review on these lots? And my question was, what was this, or what were the lots prepared correctly, the grading of these lots, and were they inspected? Because I've been calling each of these departments. We've had these conversations on a few planning board meetings, and I just feel like, I haven't really been given a direct answer. Now I know Peter was working on a few things, and we had some questions, and he said he'd get back to us, but I just wanted your input, I guess. And I know there's members here. I think that's probably the reason why you have so many members here from Brice Estates that really want to kind of narrow this down and kind of, put this thing to bed, because it's really becoming an issue within our subdivision. So, and I know you guys have, directed me and other members to consult the builder, and really, we've been informed that, the way to correct this is to just plant grass and put some additional rock in the easement, and that has not corrected the issue.
This is, well, let's see, we have somebody else would like to speak. George?
Hi, George. I'm neighbors with Stephen, lot 39, and I can pretty much piggyback exactly what he said. The drainage easement is pretty much between both of our lots. I've reached out to the Blair several times. I've also reached out to Dave George, people at City Hall, and I haven't gotten any assistance. The Blairs tried to fix it. What they did is they just dumped loam on top of my yard and just told me to seed it. Obviously that did not work. That's when I first moved in. I've been reaching out to them back and forth. I haven't got any feedback from them. So yeah, I'm with Steven as well. We're trying to get some sort of assistance, see what you guys can provide us.
Okay, this has definitely been around for a while. I recall it from earlier, and it is kind of sticky, because I guess first of all, as far as the actual grading of the lots, the planning board basically has no control over it. They can, within the building envelope of the lot, they can place the house wherever they want to, and within the boundaries of each lot, they can grade it to whatever the builder feels is appropriate. There is no approval process for that grading, at least not from the planning board. Now, there is, uh, there is at least some regulation in, I'm assuming I'll call it stormwater management. Uh, but even at that, most of those regulations pertain to uh, preventing any changes in, let's say, water, flooding, whatever, going beyond the property of the subdivision, not within the subdivision. And I, I'd really love to give you a nice, clear, firm answer of what can be done, but I don't think I can. And I'm gonna first of all open this up to the other planning board members, see what they might have to say, including Dave George. There's no doubt there must be a problem up there.
Yeah. Sorry, Norm. Steve maintained us one more time. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've spoken with actually former board members actually here in town. I've spoken with some board members from other towns, and I've been told by these individuals, now not by an expert by any means, but I was told that the planning board is responsible based on what they've, again, I'm not an expert, but what they've told me is the planning board is responsible for the review, a peer review of the grading of these lots. Whether I don't know, it's a lot design. I don't know the terminology behind it, but basically they were saying that you need some type of peer sign off from an engineer, approved by the town to review these lots or the grading of the subdivision before it's built. And again, I can't speak for this town and what the requirements are, but again, I'm just going from what I've been told from other folks, and the same thing from attorneys as well. So I guess that's really kind of what our bottom line is. We just want to, and I know it's a sticky point with you guys, and you gotta be careful with what you say, but our issue here is a serious one, and we've got young kids here too. So our second concern is the steepness of these hills. And again, I know it's more of it's an issue that we have internally here, which is, we bought these lots and when we originally signed up for these, agreements, these purchase and sale agreements, the offers, the lots they looked completely different from what we ended up with. So my thought here is, I mean, based on what we've been told by other individuals, that do something very similar to what you guys are doing. We've been told multiple times that it's the planning board that has to review these maps.
I don't know. I guess I just got to repeat, because I have no recollection in our subdivision regulations, which is what we have to go by, that we require any particular information about the actual grading on the lots.
It's road storm that we worry about the grading, that like 6% grade and stuff like that on the roads.
Right.
And the drainage within the roads.
Correct.
And the other, I guess, just another side of this, obviously they changed the topography of that whole piece of property in ways that 10 years ago nobody would have thought of doing. And in doing that, there's no doubt they have caused problems that probably even they didn't foresee. I'm not making excuses for them, because you buy a house from someone like this in a subdivision, you should have a house with a usable lot. Let's put it that way. But I don't know. I don't see where we fit in terms of our ability to do anything. Again, anybody else from the board want to comment?
You put it right, Norm.
I'm struggling with how to help them out from the because most of the times anything to do with the lots being built is under the building inspector's purview, not the planning board.
Right.
And the building inspector, when we've spoken with them, you know, their insight has been, you know, it's on conservation and planning board to review the lots because they only deal with the foundation studs up. So they're saying unless that hill behind my yard is too close to the house, meaning like 10 feet from the foundation, that they have nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
Norm, am I struggling with that answer?
With what?
With the answer that the lot design for its grading and everything is on the planning board? I'm struggling with that.
I honestly, you know, and I would want to go back and completely read our subdivision regulations, but you know, I've been through them for years and years and years, and to the best of my knowledge, there is nothing in our subdivision regulations regarding that. And once again, most likely anything, and it still wouldn't fall to the planning board, but anything would probably simply be uh, uh, not allowing anything that creates a present danger. Okay, and not something that is just, and I hate to say this, is more of, you know, an aesthetic type thing. If you want to call water running down across your back lawn aesthetic, you know, it's bad, it's wrong, but I don't, I just don't have, I don't have a good answer.
Well, I know from, I'm looking over our subdivision bylaw right now, and everything about drainage and design and slope is based on street design. It does not talk about you know, drainage of a lot.
Mhm.
It talks about the design for the culverts, stormwater management, street design. You know, no more than 8%, 1 to 8%. But I don't see anything in the definitive plan or the design plan that talks about lots other than lot count that has to be part of the definitive plan for the lot count that we have to have. So, I mean, I'm going to look while we're online to make sure that I'm not wrong and look in the open space, but I don't remember anything from the subdivision regs.
Mhm.
Let me make sure, since I'm pretty quick at zipping through them, and since these are PDFs and I can scan them, but I just don't remember anything that gives us any authority over the lots other than lot count.
Yeah. Okay, we have a couple more people with their hands up here. I see, I don't know if it's an abbreviation or what, but Aid Aiken.
Hi, thank you very much. 57 Woodside Avenue. All right. So, as you mentioned, we've been going back and forth on this with all the boards and committees in town. Right? All I just want to know is what can we do? There's an issue. Yes, we all know there's a problem, right? So now, how to go about it is that every department has been pushing it to the other department. I think it's unfair to us. To the best of my understanding, we pay the same amount of taxes everybody pays in the town, so we should be able to get the same service from the boards and commissions in town. However, we are not getting the same as it is right now. At least 5 properties have this water issue. The last time someone had to get a sunk pump and pump water off the lawn into the storm drain. I mean, so we're speaking to you right now. So what should be done? What's the necessary process that we need to go through to get this resolved? That's what we are asking you. Uh, Someone has to be able to tell us this is where you should go, this is where you should not go. But it's apparent that everyone is just pushing it off to the other party, and it's unfair to us.
Well, I can understand your frustration. I'm sure I would be more than frustrated. Um, I just, I guess the one thing I have to say is we have to follow our own rules and regulations. We can't just make up a rule, that says, oh, there can never be any water running across your backyard. Uh, you just that's just not a possible thing. Uh, and I I guess I'll say I hate to say this, but it basically is between you and the builder uh, to get this corrected. We can note this, from the planning board. We can note it to the builder that you people feel that there is an issue, and that you feel that it needs to be fixed. But that's about the extent of what we could do. Uh, like I say, unless it's something that represents a clear danger, uh, to the people that are living there. If something's ready to collapse or something like that, yeah, then something else could probably come into play.
That's debatable, Norm. I mean, honestly, I'm sure you guys have seen this place, but if you walk up it, I mean, it's I got rock, now coming down this hill. They just covered it with mulch. You stick your foot on it, your foot goes in, into the mud about 1.5 feet. And frankly, we got George's house, like I said, next to mine. He's probably got the largest slope of all. It's literally like a 65-degree angle down his hill, and he's got some pretty massive rocks sitting at the top of that hill. It looks like it's ready to swing down at his house. So we're not, I think you're kind of taking it a little lightly when you're saying water running, through my backyard. It's really a stream. It's not a little bit of water. I mean, if it was regular water, we wouldn't be making a deal of it. But like I said, when every single time it rains here, this thing is really starting to, it's really starting to it's really impacting the backyards. I mean, we're getting, silt in the yard. We're getting everything. It's not, I think you're taking it a little lightly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not taking it lightly. I'm just struggling with what can we do. And I guess I do have one further question. Is this water that is coming in, and I'm at least somewhat familiar. I've been up there. Okay. Is this water that has been channeled from other property and is now coming onto your property?
I want to say so. There's certainly a channel at the top. That's they've definitely built a channel from up on top of that hill, going behind another house at the top of the hill, and down in between these two other lots. Now, I mean, some of the other water that's running off the hill, I'm not sure if it's coming from that channel. Maybe it is. I can't tell, but it's running directly behind my house, coming down off this hill, and it's kind of really splitting. It's going between George's and my house into his driveway, actually impacting his driveway so much that the thing is starting to crack. You could actually see underneath his driveway because of it. And then, like I said, behind my house, it's washed out and created kind of a stream. I mean, take a look at the videos that we sent. You'll be able to get a better idea as to what we're talking about, but it's pretty significant.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you guys see it right now, it's a sheet of ice right between my lot and Steve's lot. There's about 2 feet of pure ice on my driveway because of the water that comes through my lot, my driveway from this drainage easement. And right now it's frozen. And no matter how much ice or snow melt I put on there, it keeps freezing. So it's just an ongoing issue. And Steve is correct. My driveway is deteriorating slowly right down the left side of my driveway.
Mhm.
Norm, this is a question which I'm not sure of, but over by us, do you know how or what process those homeowners went through to get that drainage fixed on that hill, you know, in those houses right when you come on to Brittenell from Pommogussett? Was that through any town or commission? Because it wasn't through the planning board, I know that.
Yeah, I do not know. Once again, I'm going to say that was it was again between the homeowners and the builder.
Yeah, because I again, that's that, and this is for you guys out there that are asking questions. Over by where I live, they built some houses on some slopes. And there was some drainage issues to the point where they were having the same thing. It was washing out driveways and coming down. In this case, it was affecting the streets, or the street, I should say, right now. And the builder, which in this case was Blair, if I'm not mistaken, Norm, you can tell me if I'm wrong, came over and made some adjustments with redigging a trench and putting in riprap to get the water to absorb into the ground and not end up in the people's property or backyard. So I just know it didn't come to the planning board. I wasn't involved in it because again, it wasn't my property. I just was aware of it because of being a neighbor.
Just another question that I kind of have of any of you. Is there any grading yet to be done uphill from you? In other words, is there any open land that has not been, finally finished?
So I believe there's another phase that's going to go in behind our house or our lots. I'm not sure how far off my property line those houses are going to sit back, or if there's another property that's going to abut mine. I'm sure there is, but I'm not sure, and I'm not sure when that project or that phase is going to be approved and started.
That's phase 2, Norm, if I'm not mistaken, that they're working on right now, correct?
No.
This is a cul-de-sac. It's a separate cul-de-sac off of, and I think it starts off of phase 1.
Lemon Circle.
And I don't think that is going to be. I don't think that's going to really be affecting your property, if I remember the plan correctly. Okay. I know I've got one more hand up that I want to answer first here. I see a Mead.
Yeah, it's Sean Mead from 73 Woodside. And just the question you asked, if it's coming from the channeled water that goes all the way around. The water that does come down through their property is the water from the, I guess, design feature of riprap that's a U shape up and around the top of the cul-de-sac that catches all the water coming off of the Lemon property. And that's what water is channeled down in between their property. And they did put in the half moon shaped blue drain tiles, but that seems to have not caught any of the water. And a lot of that riprap is washing out and rolling down onto their property out of that design feature that's in there to catch the water coming down the hill before it reaches any of the properties.
So it almost sounds like an incomplete design or installation.
Yeah, Norm, I was thinking the same thing.
And I mean, it's pretty complete. All the grass is grown in around it. All the houses are completed around this whole feature that would affect this half of it. The house is more towards phase 3, 4, and 5. That is still not complete, obviously, because there's no connection of the road in between. There's still one house lot that they're working on right now, but the downhill side of that is all completed.
Is this anywhere the easement that you mentioned that's on the plan? You said there's an easement between two houses?
Yeah, it would be right along the property line, literally splits the property line between lot 39 and 40R.
Right, but my question is this a failure of that easement? Or is the water not supposed to be coming down the easement?
It's a great question.
Mhm. Okay, I see another hand, Aiken.
Yeah. So, I don't know how, what you, the jurisdiction of the board is, but however, since we have an issue and we've brought it to you, is it a possibility you just write the builder and ask them, this is what people are saying in the subdivision? Do you have an explanation? If you are thinking it's an incomplete job, if we are saying it's complete or something, there's got to be a board or like a committee in town that can do that.
We can contact the builder.
I think we could do that, Norm. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, there's no problem with that. However, uh, there is, and again, I'm assuming, Tim, that you've finished looking through most everything.
Yeah, there's
I don't believe there's anything in our regulations that's going to allow us to force him to do anything. That's where the problem lies.
yeah.
Even if we know that it's a matter of time, it's going to affect the driveways, it's going to affect the road, it's going to affect everything in that area.
Well,
We still won't do anything.
if it's going to affect the road, yes.
That's a whole
It's a
different
matter of time.
road.
It's going to affect the road. It's a matter of time.
Mhm.
I think they designed the water to come
It
down.
already has affected the road. We've got washout on that road, right around that drain, right in front of my house.
Uh-huh.
It's already pulled the road up.
I remember seeing one of the catch basins that had some problems. That was back last fall.
I think this is that same catch basin or in the vicinity of that same catch basin, Norm.
Yeah.
And I think
It is.
would that fall into any of the stormwater design features? That would have to be, I mean, it was purposely put there to catch water. Would that fall under any of that stormwater management or anything of that nature?
Well, yeah, it would. It's a question at this point of,
Drainage.
is there a structure failure imminent? That needs to be fixed, or is whatever has washed in the roadway something that would need to be fixed simply before they do a final paving or something of that nature?
But is that U-shaped riprap, I guess you could call it, water catch feature all the way around? Is that part of, it's almost like a big French drain that runs down right under their property.
Mhm.
Is that a stormwater design feature that's made to be maintained and flowed into a catch basin, into another form of water management? Or is it just there for, it was there when they were building, kind of construction only? Or is it a permanent feature?
I'm just trying to think. I don't think that kind of structure is normally shown on the plans that we get.
No, it would not.
It would not.
Norm, I have and this is also to the individuals that are on the call. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I have experience with a similar issue in Holden with properties being built and water coming onto other properties. So I need to ask a few questions of what happened with that and how it was handled before as a citizen, not as a planning board member, I could give you advice on where to go. I just have to talk to, it's basically my sister-in-law who dealt with this with a builder who had built a subdivision and done the same thing with riprap, and it ended up flooding onto her property, and she had it handled. I just need to find out how she did that. Maybe that, as a citizen, I could give you advice on what to do.
That would be appreciated.
That'd be helpful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
The only thing I know what to do, because I've been through our open space bylaw, through our subdivision, and I'm struggling with the building department saying that it's the planning board's responsibility, because I don't see it that way. I'm not pushing this on the building inspector. Please don't say it that way, but I just don't see that we have control over to how a lot is graded or built, because in the past that's been a complete hands-off area for us.
Correct.
All right, I have a question pertaining to that, the drainage easement. So the builders are essentially responsible for it. So if the street gets accepted, and when that gets accepted, are they still responsible for it, or does that get in turn to the city?
It's a year, isn't it, Norm? We hold them responsible for a year.
Yeah.
Road work.
But, you know, beyond that, and I don't, you know, I'm thinking about pictures that we got from Quinn Engineering. It was after that first snow, and they showed what they said was water running from somewhere off the land onto Woodside Ave. Everybody remember seeing that picture from Quinn?
I'm looking for it now. Back in December.
And the bottom line here is, at least to me, if there is a situation where there is a large amount of water simply running over a berm and onto a roadway, then that is something that needs to be corrected. That I think we can require could be corrected.
Yeah, and I believe those videos and pictures have been sent to you guys. Yeah, and we have extra videos, additional videos if you guys need that.
Okay, I don't recall seeing those videos. Dave, do you remember getting them?
Norm, I don't have them. I was waiting for somebody else to say that, because I have not seen them personally.
We can gather that and send that out to you guys as soon as possible, because we have those.
I'll re-forward them right now.
Yeah,
I would say get them to Dave George and let him distribute them to the planning board. That'd be the best way to do it, instead of getting it to us individually. Dave, am I overstepping my bounds?
No, I was just going to say, I thought we received that information before. I believe it was sent to Quinn, as we were asking Quinn to weigh in on some of these things.
Yeah, I just don't remember seeing it, and I could have been trying to.
I'm wondering a little bit how far back some of this is going.
Honestly, it's going from August, September is when I first reached out and sent videos from rainfalls and when it was raining and all the waterfalls.
Okay, but this is still happening now.
Correct. Yes, it's still an ongoing issue. Yeah.
And you say that probably in at least significant places there are, I'm going to call it ice flows, meaning glaciers. Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, with that, And you know, I'm not going to promise you anything right now, other than tomorrow I'm going up and take a look at it. I hope you don't mind me. I may be tramping over some of your property.
No, feel free.
That-
You have
that's
my
fine.
permission.
Mine as well, Norm.
Oh,
I just resent.
What time you gonna meander up there? I might take a
You
walk.
have mine?
no, I don't get going all that early in the morning. Maybe 10 o'clock.
Sounds like a plan. I'll find time tomorrow. If you want to give me a call to throw on the old work boots and meander up there, so we got two eyes on this.
Okay, that works. But like I say, you know, please, folks, you know, I'd love to solve your problems. I really would. And I am sure you are very, very, very frustrated. But, you know, right now, I can't absolutely promise you anything other than, yes, we can certainly contact Mr. Blair. You know, that we can do. And we can, I guess I'll say, implore him to do what he can to correct it. The other side of this is I would tend to think you're not going to see anything happen before late spring. This is not the time of the year to be digging up stuff and trying to do it.
All right.
Okay.
I think I'll take a spin up sometime tomorrow and take a look myself.
Okay.
What do you want to plan, Dick, for the three of us to meander up there together at some time tomorrow?
Cannot do that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It'd be a meeting. I apologize.
Quorum. We can't do it.
Yep, quorum. You got it. Thanks, Norm.
Yeah. See, by the way, for any of you out there still listening, you see, among other things, some of the things that we have to contend with, you know, three of us planning board members can't go up there unless we post a meeting 3 days ahead of time.
Yeah, I forgot.
So,
No, guys, we appreciate it. Just for clarification, the house numbers are 51 and 49. It's between both of those houses, and they're lots 40R and lot 39.
okay. House numbers is easier for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured that.
And I remember those house numbers. So, but I do really want to take a look, and I'm not questioning that you're saying you have a problem. It's just that if I do have eyes on it, I can probably make a little bit better case.
I'll bring the trusty dusty old school digital camera with me too.
Yes, do that.
And just so you know, my house too, number 51, I've got some significant ice puddles in my backyard, and you'll see the sediment actually building up in the ice behind my house, just to also point out. So it just shows you that it's just running right off that hill. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. That's right now the best that I can see. Peter, you have your hand up.
I do, but this is for a next topic or two, very fast one. So I don't want to interrupt the Brice Lemon discussion.
Okay. Do we have anything more regarding the Brice Lemon thing? Anyone else that feels like they want to join in? No, I do not see. Okay, from the board, anything else on Brice Lemon?
Nope. Other than the fact to keep an eye on phase 3, that's steep hill, and I'm still saying
Tomorrow to look at it.
They are.
We were just talking about it.
there's too much open land.
Well, you know, I can see the possibility of similar problems on phase 3.
Yes.
We need some more flat land.
Well, not only that, but we need to. I could have sworn that he overstepped his bounds when he did the whole thing. I thought he's only, when something's over so many, pitch, you can only open up a couple of acres.
Well,
Not
we
the whole
didn't.
thing.
Yeah, we didn't do it on that one. We did it on Noble Hill.
I know, but I could have sworn in our regs.
Hmm.
Dick, the only thing I can find going through them is on grades of roads and grades of open space, but I can't find it on lots.
Yeah.
So we definitely have regs for roads and for over 15 degrees on open space, like trails and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that only pertains to the amount.
Yeah.
That you can't count all slopes over 15 as part of the open space or something.
Correct. It doesn't have anything to do with physical lots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's something we've got to throw in there, because what do we have left in Rutland? But nothing but situations like this.
Hills and swamps.
But I thought, and this is for, I guess, for the board, I thought there was building codes in Massachusetts for lots. But again, I don't know that. But that was why I was struggling with, you can't build a house on a 45-degree slope unless you've got an engineered plan. I don't know if that's a true statement, but it doesn't make sense to me with all of the building codes that we've got for houses, walls, and all that stuff, that there wouldn't be something for what you can build a foundation on. Again, this is questions for the building inspector that's beyond my skill set.
Yeah. So.
Well, page 29 of this, it says standards, location of right-of-ways, application shall seek to minimize the amount of earth removal and grading on slopes exceeding 20%, as well as minimizing the cutting, filling of soils and subsoils at site locations and the layout of the subdivision roadways.
But that's the roadways.
Yeah.
And subsoils on, okay, associated with the layout, okay.
Yeah, Dick, that's what I keep finding. We take care of ourselves on the roads, making sure that we have well-designed roads, but I can't find anything in the subdivision bylaw or open space specifically, other than lot design, setbacks. But that's all we've got. We don't have actually slope or how you build it.
Please, somebody read the rest of it. Don't just stop there. With development plans that propose to disturb land with slopes exceeding 20% and contain cut fills of soil, subsoils of depth in excess of 8 feet, the applicant shall prepare a geotechnical engineer report that outlines the proposed method for slope stabilization to be employed during the construction phase. Sometimes I think we ought to sit down and read some of this over again.
But that's, Dick, what you're talking about is under the use for building a road, correct?
All I'm saying is defining the slope.
All right. I'd have to look.
That's what I mean. I think we all should take a look at it and see what it does say and read more of it. And then the next page is 20% slopes, which is all about roads. But this is prior to it. So I don't know. I have to read it, and I feel that the rest of us should.
This whole thing has raised to me a little bit of a question. I'm just wondering, we don't regulate lots at all. Is there anything in Mass law that says we can't?
I don't know. That's a good point, Norm.
That might be a question for legal counsel.
For Dave?
That could be another. That could be another major revision to subdivision regulations.
Yeah.
I just think if it could be, we would have.
Well, take a look at phase 1, not phase 1, phase 2 how they put the houses down near the detention pond, how steep it is to get down there? The driveway, holy crap.
Yeah.
And how much fill they put in there. Well, all right.
Okay. Anything more on Brice Lemon? Peter, are you still awake?
Yes, I am. First, actually, I have a question for Tim. Tim, is your email the one at Charter or the one at Gmail?
I've got both, but charter.net is good. Narwhal at charter.net is good.
Okay. I didn't want to say it out loud, but there you go. Okay.
That's fine. It's listed on the, I think it's listed in the planning board. So the Gmail one I just had to get for some reason. I think it was because my company uses Google and I needed a Gmail account for Google.
Right. I'm sending something off to you right now. Okay.
Cool.
So now the other thing, and I will do my best to be brief. The town administrator and I have had a few conversations about the Community Protection Act and being able to set money aside for acquisition of lands that we think could be valuable for the town to keep. We know that, for example, Davis Farm, didn't matter what people wanted, we didn't have money, but if we had money set aside to purchase land, that would be a great use of the CPA. I know that Rutland tried to do the CPA, long time ago now, well over 10 years ago, and it went down to truly ignominious defeat. And I think that's because, number one, there was not a sufficient job trying to justify its existence, and number two, the frequent complaint about increasing taxes over time, and I don't dispute any of that. I just want to introduce the topic to the planning board for you guys to think about it so that we can discuss in the future if the planning board would be amenable to a proposal to enact the Community Preservation Act, Preservation, whatever it is, the CPA. So as I say, I'm not asking the board to do anything tonight. I'm not going to ask anything for a while, but I just want you to think about it so we can at some point have a discussion.
And there are 3 different areas that the money goes to.
Yes, I believe so.
And they are
Oh gosh.
historic.
Yeah, historic, conservation and recreation, and maybe agricultural. But I don't remember that for certain. I haven't read the act in a long time.
Low income housing, I believe.
Oh, okay. So, as I said, I just wanted to bring it up, have people start thinking about it, toss it around in your brains a little bit, think about it, and at some point I'll bring it up for a future discussion so we can talk through it more about the board's position. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Okay.
If you go back through the minutes of the Concom, you'll see where it was brought up a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. Sounds like promising. So, okay, just one thing before I forget it, Tim, so I don't have to go look it up. What's your phone number?
Oh, it's 6542.
That's 886.
Yeah. I'm old. I've got a Verizon hardline.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Okay.
have a rotary dial too?
I actually got one of those in the basement just for the zombie apocalypse.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Anything else to come before the board?
Thank you for a good meeting.
Okay. I'll tell you, it'd be nice to get this Brice Lemon thing straightened out
Yes.
for the Brice Lemoners. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I know him. I've to Dick's point, why we've been in between stuff. I've just been gone through the open space, and we talk about buildable lot sizes and all that stuff, but nowhere in there does it talk about drainage, slopes, anything like that. We just give the basic design standards of setbacks, frontage, lot size. You know, we talk about how to put drawings together where there's got to be contour lines, but that doesn't have to do with the actual design standard. No, it just, we mainly talk about in the open space about the open space design and reducing the residential lot sizes, and that's, you know, and grouping them and stuff like that. But we don't go into any details about what they're looking for. You know, drainage design, I guess, is a good word for it. So,
You know, I'm just thinking, you know, part of this problem could be caused just by open space design. More houses crowded onto smaller lots.
well, you're not going to get an argument out of me on that one.
Interesting thought. Just a quick thing. Does anybody think it's worthwhile to have Dave contact town council for advice on anything we could put into subdivision regulations regarding grading on lots?
I do. Please have them do that.
Is it more cost effective, Norm, maybe to talk to Quinn Engineering about that, about what's done in other towns?
Well, yeah, I couldn't argue that one with you.
Just is Mass Law got anything to say about it?
Yeah, well, I was thinking Quinn would know the regulations. Carl, I shouldn't say Quinn. I mean, Quinn does too, but just ask Carl, you know, is there something we're missing? And because I think, and maybe Norm or Dave, you can ask that he's aware of this situation, but we've kept him out of it because he was in the review phase, and it's really a town problem, not a Quinn Engineering problem.
Yeah, well, it might be a better place to start, or cheaper place to start anyway.
You know, I'm not trying to lengthen things out. I just said, instead of going to the $225 an hour lawyer, start out with the $75 engineer an hour.
Yeah.
And if Carl comes back and says, you know, it's something that he believes we need to go somewhere else for to the attorney, then so be it. Let's do it. But at least,
yeah,
you know, we can try, see if Carl gives us some help.
I can buy that. Okay, anything else to come before the board?
Was he going to be calling Kyle anyways, Dave? You know, about the minutes, the drainage?
I've already sent an email to Carl on that point. I mean,
okay.
I'll formulate this as a question to Carl Holtgren and Quinn Engineering to see if they have any recommendations for the board to consider as another revision to the subdivision rules and regulations.
All right. No, what I was going to ask, the next time Kyle comes into town for an inspection or something like that, any way we could know, so go down and walk around with him?
Are you saying, Dick, we got to go hog time and make sure he doesn't get out of town before he answers our questions?
Carl who?
Yeah, he disappeared in Rutland. We don't know what happened.
Just one of those things. It'd be nice to, you know, perhaps have a talk with him here and there, but.
Well, if you want to know what his next schedule is, if I find that information, I'll be glad to pass it on to you, Dick. You want to take the lead on this, or to the whole board? If we have the whole board, then you run into the noticing issue.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't think we want to start trying to formulate board meetings that way.
Oh.
No.
And just one other point of clarification here. So there was an email sent on December 29th with videos. That email was sent to an obsolete email account. It was resent to me tonight through my work email here, which I have forwarded to the board. So I take that back, that I was previously aware of this email with these videos. I was not aware of the December 29th, because once again, that was sent to an obsolete email account.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm out of steam, Norm.
My mind is swimming a little bit at this point.
How soon are we gonna start meeting again? Have you heard anything, what's going on?
Did you want me to give you the answer? How about April?
How about next week?
Oh, you mean in person?
Yes. Back to the library?
Ain't gonna be happening for a while. And to be perfectly honest with you, I tell you, I'm getting more paranoid about this coronavirus all the time.
I agree.
We just had a meeting with our vice president of engineering at Eversource, and we've been told to work through, we could be working at home through the spring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm working for a utility and they're being as safe can be.
My company said June.
That's probably fair.
Not allowed back into the building before June.
Yeah, that's probably it. And even then, they were talking about hybrid, Peter.
Yeah, I believe that too.
3 weeks after I get my second shot, I'll go anywhere.
No, after you get the Pfizer second shot, not the AstraZeneca or the Johnson.
Wow.
All right. Very good.
Hey, that brings up a question for everybody that gets off. Being that we're town officials, are we on the secondary important list for vaccines?
But of course.
Yeah.
We're elected officials, right?
Yeah. Well, 3 of us are definitely in a
Over 65.
yes. Over
Okay,
60
so
group.
I'm left to die. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So.
Well, I figured if Baker and all of the officials in Worcester are getting their shots, you know, the elected officials in Rutland should too.
There you go.
In round 1, I agree that first responders should be number 1. I don't disagree with that by any means.
No.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Is there any discussion? Roll call vote. Dick,
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Norm, aye. We are adjourned.